Assalamu alaikum. I'm Ibrahim Hooper with CAIR's weekly news update. This week, CAIR urged Kansas Governor Sam Brownback to veto an anti-Islam bill that passed through that state's legislature.
An Islamic group in Washington is asking Kansas Governor Brownback to ignore a bill that would ban the Sharia law in Kansas. Both the House and Senate approved that bill last week. While it doesn't mention the Sharia law specifically, it says courts and state agencies cannot base rulings on foreign laws or legal systems. Today, the Council on American-Islamic Relations asked Brownback not to sign that law.
CAIR's St. Louis chapter is also sponsoring a rally against the bill at the state capitol in Topeka. CAIR this week urged state and national GOP leaders to repudiate a candidate who went on a hate-filled tirade at a campaign event.
Oh, we don't want to be racist. We don't want to be Islamophobes. Well, I am an Islamophobe. And everything we need to know about Islam, we learned on 9/11. Yes. We're getting sucker punched because we, as white, yes, I said it, as white Christian Americans are being taught that somehow we are to blame for all the problems.
CAIR's New York chapter called on the FBI to probe an attack on a man who was beaten after one of his attackers used an anti-Arab slur. The man was hit in the head and knocked out after trying to explain that he was in fact of Indian heritage. CAIR this week spoke out about revelations of a second military training that taught officers to fear Islam and be suspicious of American Muslims. This is the tip of the iceberg. We have been seeing this same kind of thing for years. We've been reporting Islamophobic training with the FBI, with DHS, with TSA, the CIA, all of these important institutions. It's all happening under the radar. There's a cottage industry of these Muslim bashers who are training law enforcement personnel, military personnel, counterterrorism personnel, and you're breeding a generation of leaders in our society who have this suspicion of Islam and hostility towards American Muslims and Muslims in general.
And it's very concerning. It should be concerning even to the government that so-called experts with political driven agenda are exploiting people's ignorance about Islam and trying to drive a wedge between Muslims and people of other faith in the society. And I think if they succeed in that, they will destroy the fabric of America.
In Chicago, a CAIR representative appeared on a local PBS station's panel discussion on the NATO summit.
Ahmed Rehab, do you think that's the mission of NATO?
Well, you know, when NATO started, it was a military pact to defend the West against the threat of the Soviet Union. Without that threat today, the question beckons itself, why is NATO there? And from my perspective, for the United States at least, NATO serves a great way to sugarcoat certain military expeditions that would be otherwise controversial should they run under the gamut or the brand of the United States alone.
And finally, CAIR's Connecticut chapter announced that it will join with that state's Muslim community in helping to feed the needy. To receive CAIR updates and action alerts, sign up at CAIR.com. To contact CAIR, email info@CAIR.com. Assalamu alaikum. Peace to you.
Learn more at CAIR.com.